So I might as well go to the news desk, even though it's not a big one. So you may have remembered something that I've been talking about over the last couple of years that culminated recently with some really bad news, but now we have some good news, okay? There's a game company, a developer, called Toys for Bob. This is a company that years ago made the remasters of games like the Spyro trilogy and the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. They did so well that it actually led to them making an entirely new Crash Bandicoot game, Crash Bandicoot 4, okay? All of these games did well. Every one of them sold well. And not that they were blockbuster, oh my God, best-selling games of the year or anything like that, but they all made money, okay? Now, Toys for Bob is owned by Activision Blizzard. Activision Blizzard decided in all of their wisdom that after their hit sales of these remastered trilogies and Crash 4, that this dev team should now be repurposed to make content for Call of Duty games. I wish that was a bad joke, but instead it was harsh reality, that Activision cared more about pumping out like DLC content and skins for Call of Duty than they actually did pumping out good games. So this entire studio for 2-3 years was repurposed to just make junk, okay? Then all of a sudden, about a month and a half ago, it was announced after the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft that Activision was laying off more than half the staff of Toys for Bob. What the hell? Let me get this straight. They make a bunch of great games that sell well. You then tell them, don't make any more of those, make Call of Duty content, and then you lay them off afterwards? What kind of business strategy is this exactly? Right? Again, we look at these and we're like, the people in charge have no fucking clue how to run their companies and don't even understand gaming. You just had to make more fucking games in that style. They would have been making money for your company. Instead, you have them making junk, and you wonder why it's not productive, and then you lay them off. You're assholes. You want to know who should have been laid off? The management. You don't lay off the people who are doing the good work for you. You get your fucking shit canned. You get the boot to your ass, clear your desk out, sit there on the curb with a cardboard box full of your junk because you're an idiot. Okay? So anyway, the good news is two things. It was announced just recently. Toys for Bob struck a deal with Microsoft to go independent. They split from Activision Blizzard, which is owned by Microsoft now, and said, we're going to go do our own thing. And it worked, and they're now independent again. So rumor has it, perhaps they're going to hire back a lot of the employees that got laid off to begin with. And then the good news, this news just came out this morning. Toys for Bob has officially struck a deal with Microsoft to make an original game under their umbrella and their own style. It will not be a fucking Call of Duty bullshit DLC. It's not going to be Crash. It's not going to be Spyro because those properties are owned by Activision Blizzard. It's going to be their own game. They're going to make an original game under their umbrella with Microsoft's backing. That's great news. That's incredibly good news because this is a very talented group of game developers who deserve to make good games, not to be shoved under the rug or anything like that. Now, what will the game be? We don't know. We have no idea what it's going to be yet. Will it be like Spyro or Crash, or will it be its own original outing, something completely unique? We have no idea. I'll be honest with you. If it plays like Crash or Spyro, I'd be happy with it. Those games are great. Yeah, they're casualized in a lot of cases, like Spyro. Some of them aren't that hard, but they're fun experiences. We don't really have consistent platforming style stuff anymore, right? Like when you really think about it, how often do you see platforming games and stuff like that? Not often anymore. It's a kind of a forgotten genre. So to have a company that may be focusing on this, I'm happy for that. And I'm happy for them because really they were all at their lowest and it looks like they found a way to rally and come back. And this is what I wish for every company, like BioWare right now. I feel so bad for because they were at the top of the world making games like Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect and Dragon Age. And then all of a sudden they're told, drop everything you're doing and make Anthem. And they told them, we don't want to make Anthem. This is too much like Destiny. This is not going to work. And management told them to do it anyway. This is EA management, who's the parent company, right? They make Anthem. It's a piece of dog shit. It flops, right? So now they go back. And now look at how behind they are. I think their next game will be the new Dragon Age game. But even then, when is it coming out? It's been in development for like a decade. Where the hell is it, right? Is it going to be good and live up to expectations? And then after that, they are already working on a new Mass Effect. But Andromeda was such a flop. They're hoping to revive the series. But what's going to happen, right? It's very frustrating when you see these companies that have had great track records flounder because of bad management decisions. So I wish Toys for Bob the best. I'm very excited to hear news about whatever game they're working on whenever they're ready to announce it. But this is great for the industry in general. This is great news. So.